Welcome back. We are almost out of the Leviathan and home free onto the Ebon Hawk. But we've got one last passageway to go through first. And before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and level up Carth and Bastila one more time. Because we've gotten an insane amount of experience on this ship from all the Sith that we've mowed down. And let's see, I'm going to give you the usual rounds of stuff, and let's give you Master Conditioning. And Bastila, let's see, level 16, Dexterity at 20. Powers, Destroy Droid. That ought to do.
What? Sure.
Let's go. Another dramatically long passageway. Oh my goodness.
Darth Malak.
Down you go!
I hope you weren't thinking of leaving so soon, Bastila. I've spent far too much energy hunting down you and your companions to let you get away from me now. Besides, I had to see for myself if it was true. Even now, I can hardly believe my eyes. Tell me, why did the Jedi spare you? Is it vengeance you seek at this reunion?
Vengeance? Reunion? What are you talking about, Malak?
What? You mean you don't know? All this time and you still haven't figured it out. I wonder how long you would have stayed blind to the truth. Surely some of what you once were must have surfaced by now. Even the combined power of the Jedi Council couldn't keep your true identity buried forever, could it?
What are you talking about, Malak?
The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes.
The Council would not normally accept an adult for training, but this is a special case.
They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity.
Tatooine. Kashyyyk. Manaan. Korriban. Revan visited each of these worlds searching for clues to reveal the hidden location of the Starforge.
The lure of the dark side is difficult to resist. I fear this quest to find the Starforge could lead you down an all too familiar path.
What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them?
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
You cannot hide from what you once were, Revan. Recognize that you were once the Dark Lord, and know that I have taken your place.
This cannot be true. How can we be Revan? This is some type of trick, isn't it? How is this even possible?
You do not yet remember, Revan? The Jedi set a trap, They lured us into battle against a small Republic fleet. During the attack, a team of Jedi Knights boarded your ship. The Jedi strike team captured you, and the Council used the Force to reprogram your mind. They wiped away your identity and turned you against your own followers.
How can they capture someone as powerful as Revan? I mean, me.
I helped them, Revan. I always knew that one day the title of Dark Lord would be mine. When the Jedi strike team boarded your vessel, I saw my day had come. I ordered my own ships to fire on your bridge. I thought I could destroy all my enemies with a single glorious victory. I never dreamed the Jedi would take you alive from the wreckage.
This is incredible. So why wouldn't the Jedi just simply kill me?
The Jedi are fools. They do not believe in executing prisoners. Originally, I assumed you had died in the battle. Imagine my surprise when I found out you were still alive, Revan.
This certainly explains a lot.
You mean why did I betray you, Revan? You are the one who taught me the ways of the Sith. The strongest must rule if we are to survive. You knew I would one day challenge you for supremacy, but you underestimated me. I acted sooner than you expected and seized the Sith throne with a single brilliant stroke.
Bastila, is this true?
It's true. I was part of the team sent to capture Revan, to capture you. When Malak fired on the ship, you were badly injured. We thought you were dead. Your mind was destroyed, but I used the Force to preserve the flicker of life in your body. I brought you to the Jedi Council. They were the ones who healed your damaged mind.
But the memories I have, where did they come from?
The Jedi Council didn't restore your wounded mind, Revan. They merely programmed it with a new identity, one loyal to the Republic. They tried to make you their slave.
You've been lying to me this whole time, Bastila.
I wanted to tell you, but the Council forbid it. They were afraid you might return to the dark side if you discovered your real identity.
But now you know the truth, Revan. The Council has failed in their attempt to make you their pawn. The will of a Sith Lord is not so easily manipulated.
Bastila, why didn't you tell me?
We couldn't simply restore your true identity. Revan was too dangerous. But locked inside your mind was information the Republic needed, the secrets of the Starforge. The Council created an identity for you, a soldier under my command. Your subconscious memories were supposed to lead me to the Starforge. There was no other way to get the information.
They made you their puppet, Revan, and Bastila was the handler pulling your strings.
This is very disturbing. So what would happen if I remembered who I really was?
That was a risk the Council chose to take. I had to try and draw out the secrets of the Starforge. It was our only hope of stopping the Sith. There was no other choice.
Why you, Bastila? Why did the Council choose you?
I used my Force powers to heal you on that bridge. We share a bond. I convinced the Council I could use our bond to draw out your memories and lead us to the Starforge.
Tell the truth, Bastila. You wanted to taste the dark side for yourself. You knew the only way the Council would permit you to explore the Sith's power was through Revan's lost memories.
No. I wanted to help you, Revan. I thought this mission would redeem you, that it would atone for your past crimes. How else could you be saved?
At this point, I must agree with this option. You used me, Bastila. You're no better than the Sith.
How can you say that? Malak nearly killed you, but the Jedi Council gave you another chance to live. They gave you a chance to redeem yourself by defeating the Sith.
A rash and futile hope. The dark side is too strong. My power is too great. Even my old master is no longer a match for me. A small part of me has always regretted betraying you from afar. I always knew there were some who would think I acted out of fear, that I did not want to face you. But now fate has given me a second chance to prove myself. Once I defeat you in combat, no one will question my claim to the Sith throne. My triumph will be complete.
Triumph, Malak? You seem to forget that I'm still alive.
The Jedi Council were foolish to let you live. I won't make the same mistake. We shall finish this alone in the ancient Sith tradition. Master versus apprentice, as it was meant to be.
So be it. Alright. We can't use stasis on him. Running away, Malak. Really? Well, we have to leave our companions behind, unfortunately. And we can't get through that door. Stay frosty, guys. I'll be right back. Right now, I'm thinking of 1,000 thoughts. This is unbelievable. What are we supposed to make of this? Well, we'll think more about it when we get back into the Hawk, but for now, we have to deal with the present situation, and that is defeating Malak. Alright. Let's try critical striking him. Okay, we need some healing here. Let's just pull out one of our advanced med packs. We got lots of those.
This isn't over, Malak.
Your friends do not give up easily, Revan. You always could inspire loyalty. But even the three of you together cannot stand against my power.
For the Jedi! I'll hold Malak off. You two get out of here. Find the Star Forge.
No, Bastila, he's too strong. No! The door's sealed. We can't get past. Come on, we have to get to the Ebon Hawk.
What about Bastila? We have to help her.
Bastila doesn't stand a chance against Malak, but we can't help her. Not here. We have to get off the ship and find the Star Forge. That's the key to beating the Dark Lord. Bastila sacrificed herself so we could get away. We can't let her sacrifice be in vain. Come on!
He's right. No matter which door we try, we can't get to him. So let's go ahead and head out. And I'm already turned around. Let's see. I think it's this way? Nope. Well, we'll find it eventually. Here we go. Let's get out of here. Unfortunately, we've got company. Now we've got company. And we got the Leviathan in the background. Let's see. Let's do this the usual way. Which hopefully means not messing up. Come on, pull up. There we go. Where are you guys? Come on, come a little closer. There we go. Oh. Almost there. We're almost out of the mess here. Oh boy. That's not good. There. Whew. That was close. Let's get out of this place.
Where is Bastila? What happened on that ship?
We ran into Malik. He would have killed us, but Bastila sacrificed herself so we could get away.
You mean she's dead?
Bah, Malik won't kill her. Don't be foolish. He'll want to use her battle meditation against the Republic. Turn her to the dark side, and the Sith will always be victorious.
Indeed. We can't help Bastila, not unless we find the Star Forge first.
Not so fast. We've got a bigger issue to deal with here. They deserve to know the truth about you. Do you want to tell them what Malik said, or should I?
I'll tell them. I'm Darth Revan.
Revan? What are you talking about? Is this some kind of a joke?
No, it's no joke. The Jedi Council captured Revan and erased the Dark Lord's mind, programming in a new identity. Saul Karath told me on the Leviathan, and Bastila confirmed it.
You're Darth Revan? This is big. Do you remember anything about being the Dark Lord?
Small bits, a few strange dreams and visions, that's all.
Just a few flashes. That's it. Nothing more? Then I don't think there's a problem. It seems to me that if you don't really remember anything about being Revan, then it doesn't really matter anymore. You are who you are now, right?
Of course it still matters. How do we know more memories won't come flooding back? How do we know Revan won't suddenly turn on us? The whole time we've been chasing after Malik, we've had his old Sith master right at our side, listening to our secrets, hearing our plans.
I'm sorry, Carth. I wish this wasn't true. But I'm not the Dark Lord anymore. I'm Kain. I'm one of you.
I don't see the Sith Lord standing here. I see a friend who's been with us through thick and thin. Remember, Malik's the one who tried to destroy Taris. Big Z and I will stick by you. We owe you our lives. We won't desert you now.
How can you say that, Mission? The Sith bombed my homeworld, Revan took away my family, and destroyed my life.
Everyone knows it was Malik who gave the order to attack your people, Carth. You can't blame Revan for that.
I suppose you've proven yourself to be a friend of the Republic by your actions so far, Revan. But can I trust you? Can any of us?
Well, what about you, Canderous?
You defeated the Mandalore clans in the war, Revan. You were the only one in the galaxy who could best us. We had never met one like you before, and never since. How can you even ask if I'll follow you? Whatever you're fighting, it will be worthy of my skill. I'm your man until the end, Revan. No matter how this plays out.
You won't abandon me, will you, T3?
I knew the little guy would come through for you. Droids don't hold grudges.
Exactly. What about you, Joey?
What about me? I already knew who you were, though it wasn't my place to tell you.
What?
Better off that you know, if you ask me. Does it change anything? I'm not here to judge you. You'll do what you have to do, and I'll help if I can.
You knew the whole time. You sly fox. What about you, HK-47?
Commentary. I am experiencing something unusual, Master.
Why? What's happening? Also, why is Juhani not a part of this?
Answer. My programming is activating my deleted memory core. I believe I have a homing system that is restoring it, Master.
So this is the stimuli you were waiting for? Everyone be careful, there's no telling what this means. I love that.
Observation. That is unnecessary, Master. My intent is not hostile. I am receiving no combat override commands.
Good.
Observation. My homing system is a function of my assassination protocols, that which I told you had been deactivated. This system was not. It seems that the homing system deliberately restores my deleted memory core upon returning to my original master.
You don't mean...
Affirmation. Correct, Master. Sith protocols maintain that all droid knowledge be deleted before assassination missions and restored upon return.
Oh my goodness.
I have returned to you, and my full functionality is now under your personal command. It is a distinct pleasure to see you again, Master.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Observation. Indeed. I do hope we shall have the chance to engage in combat together again soon, Master.
Wow. What are the chances of that happening?
Exactly.
Remember, we're talking about the Force here. At this point, Malak himself could drop out of the sky and I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
Good point. Well, Carth, will you stand with me against Malak?
Well, the others seem to trust you, and I don't see any other way that we can stop the Sith. And I suppose that Malak is the real enemy here. I really don't have any other choice, do I?
Oh, don't be like that, Carth. I'm not Revan anymore. You have to believe that.
I want to believe you. You've proven yourself time and time again during our mission, but this is a little much for me to wrap my mind around.
This is a little much for me to wrap my mind around, too.
This must be even more of a shock to you. I don't know how you even keep going. I guess we both just have to find a way to push forward. Don't worry. I won't let my personal feelings get in the way of my assignments or this mission, but don't forget, I've sworn an oath to defend the Republic. As long as this mission stays on course, I'll stick with you, but I won't let you betray the Republic under any circumstances. So I guess that's it then. We keep going. We've still got one more star map to uncover if we're gonna find that Star Forge and save Bastila, so let's do it before it's too late.
Indeed. But before we go to that star map, we've got one final stop to make here at Yavin. This is not the final stop we're making at Yavin, this is just the last place we're going to before we go to Korriban. We're going to stop here once more after Korriban, because Suvim will have a final tier of new products to sell to us by that point. But before we go out there, I want to take a few minutes to talk about what just happened. Because we need to talk about this and reflect a little bit about where this is going and what this means for the story. And actually, I'm going to do that over here in our personal area. So we haven't actually been here for a little while. And I don't think there's any better place to do it than in this little bedroom here. So, what exactly does this mean? We're Revan. I mean, that's huge. That's really huge. And before I actually talk about that, I kind of want to answer a question that I'm sure some of you who have played the game are probably going to ask, and that is, did I know about this big revelation before getting to this point in the game when I played it for the first time? And unfortunately, the answer to that is sort of. Before I played this game, a friend of mine highly recommended it to me, and he revealed pretty early on, before I played the game, that there would be a big twist. He also mistakenly revealed, under the impression that I had already completed the game, that we were going to be the bad guy, or something to that extent. I was a little bit taken aback at that comment, because I thought we could choose either the light side or the dark side. But he said, no, it happens either way. And at that point I told him, I haven't played the game yet, so don't reveal anymore, and he was really sorry that he had said that, but I was looking for signs of things that didn't seem quite right with the player character upon first glance, and I was thinking about what the biggest twist could possibly be for the player character, even as early as Terrace. Now, in the opening crawl, Malak was identified as the main bad guy, and I didn't know that it was Malak who was featured on the home screen, which was shown in the first part of the LP, until he was identified in the cutscene that took place before you go into Dabek's estate. on Terrace. So I didn't really know what he looked like for the longest time, so I thought maybe the player character could have been Malik. I mean, it was certainly possible. I figured the twist probably wouldn't involve one of our companions, since we were getting to know them fairly well, and we were discovering all sorts of things about them. But once Malik was revealed, I began to set my sights on Revan. And from the get-go, things were fairly suspicious. The first red flag that you could say came up was the cutscene in which we had the dream where Bastila was fighting Revan. I thought it was rather suspicious that Revan was wearing a mask, because this pretty much allowed for the possibility that Revan could either be male or female. And, of course, the player character can be either male or female. Either way, it is possible. I didn't really think too much about that at the time, but that got compounded when we got to Dantooine and I saw the dream sequence in which Revan and Malik were going into the ancient ruins to find the star map, and Revan did not say a single word in that cutscene. And I kept thinking to myself, why else wouldn't Revan be saying a single word except for the fact that Revan could either be male or female? That possibility was just still fresh in my mind. And on top of that, the dialogue that the other characters speak about Revan, like the conversation we had with Canderous not too long ago, features the voice actors using gender-specific personal pronouns like he, his, him, etc., whereas the subtitles don't use these pronouns, and they always say Revan, Revan, Revan. That really set off some alarm bells. Of course, the personal, or the circumstantial stuff going on in the game also helped as well. It was especially the situation on Dantooine that got my suspicions aroused even more. The fact that the Jedi Council was willing to train an adult, even if they were saying it's an exception, just didn't seem very likely, especially given the fact that in the prequels, Anakin Skywalker had to go through a ridiculous amount of red tape before he can even be trained at the age of 9. And here we are, I mean, look at us. I mean, we're probably about, like, what, 20s? Maybe late 20s, early 30s? I mean, we're a full-fledged adult. And here they were just taking us in, apparently under the guise of a lot of deliberations, but now we know the truth, and it makes so much sense now. I didn't really... Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but the other thing was that by the time I got to the computer on Kashyyyk and it recognized us, that pretty much sealed it for me. The explanation I gave in this LP of Malik controlling the computer and, you know, it's recognizing us because he was behind it, I figured that might be a plausible explanation that somebody playing the game for the first time might come up with while not knowing that there was a twist in the game later on involving the player character. So I threw that in there. I hope that's kind of a possible explanation that could work. But anyway, it definitely explains quite a bit. What was a shock, though, was that when the big reveal happened, I was kind of a little surprised that Bastila knew about our identity as Revan, although I really shouldn't have been, though. I mean, it makes so much sense. But I thought, you know, when Revan apparently died on the ship, that maybe he had amnesia from that. I didn't really think about the fact that the Force was used in that. And I also thought that because Revan wore a mask all the time, that the Jedi never really knew what he looked like underneath that mask. And I figured that the rest of the galaxy didn't know, which is why no one recognized us everywhere we went. So I figured, why would the Jedi know? I mean, we probably kept that mask on the whole time. But the fact that Bastila saved us, I should have thought about that a little bit more, since she was the one standing over our body in the dream that we had. So, I don't know, I guess I just completely overlooked that. But once I heard that, it really was a shock that everyone on the Jedi Council knows, or knew about what our true identity was. But anyway, at this point in the game, we are at a crossroads. Because this revelation... no matter what has come before this point in the game, no matter what decisions you as the player character, no matter what decisions we've made, choosing either the light side or the dark side is completely plausible at this point. Based on what we found out, we can either choose to continue following the light side and fight for the Jedi and the side of good in hopes of correcting our past mistakes and shortcomings as Revan, and defeating Malik, and hopefully eradicating the Sith as a result. Or we can take revenge against the Jedi, go to the dark side, and supplant Malak as the ultimate Sith Master. So where does Kane stand on this? Well, as I kind of roleplayed earlier during the scene where we found out what our identity was, Kane is not exactly all that happy about what Bastila did. Now, I will go ahead and reveal that there is going to become a point later on in the game when we're going to have to choose either light or dark. There is no neutral at the end of the game. I'm just going to go ahead and say that and throw it out here. I wish there were, because if this were me in real life, I would want to fight for me and myself only. I wouldn't want to associate with the Jedi after what they did, and I sure would not want to associate with the Sith after seeing what atrocities they've committed. I would just want to do this for myself, just because I want to defeat Malak, I want to correct the mistake I made, I want to destroy this monster that I've created. Unfortunately, though, there is no third option. You have to fight for either the Jedi or the Sith. And I'm making my decision based on the confines in which the game is giving me, within the box that the game is providing me, shall I say. And with that in mind, I am going to go ahead and continue following the light path. I may not necessarily approve, as Kane I'm talking about, I may not necessarily approve of what the Jedi Council did, but I understand why they did it. I also understand that the past is the past. What's done is done. I mean, I'm Kane now, I've forged a new identity, and I think Kane is fairly comfortable with the person he's become now. Yes, he recognizes that Revan was a person that existed in this body before, but Revan was Revan. I mean, yes, he has traces of Revan in him. I mean, I mentioned on Manon that Kane was a very ruthless person, and this was why. Because Revan was a ruthless person. However, Kane also recognizes the fact that Revan had a lot of shortcomings, and in many ways, he's competitive. That competition can definitely be something that could lead to the dark side, but in some ways he wants to correct his past mistakes as Revan. He wants to be better than Revan. And while he may not necessarily always get along with Bastila, you know, he truly loves her and he wants to help her out as well, because he knows that, you know, she is still young and that she is still learning herself. And he recognizes that he has become strong in the ways of the Jedi, and that the Jedi, for all their flaws and shortcomings, are certainly much more capable of redemption than the Sith are. And if he can help with that, then so be it. Now, he may not necessarily be very happy about what Bastila did, but he would at least at some point like to talk to her about it. I think he's starting to calm down now. I mean, he certainly was a lot more angry about it, and he certainly felt like turning to the dark side in those moments there in the hangar. But at this point, he wants to continue fighting for what's right, and hopefully the Jedi can benefit as a result. I'm going to go ahead and just reveal a few other consequences before we move onwards that this affects. The first thing that I should go ahead and mention is that Dantooine is indeed gone. The planet is still around, but everything that we were exploring on Dantooine is eradicated. There is no more Jedi Academy there. We cannot go there anymore. It's for this reason that I chose to go ahead and do the General Haradin missions earlier, before I collected the 4-star map instead of later. It's also why I bought all the things I wanted to buy on Dantooine earlier rather than later. The second thing is that HK-47's stimulus, which is our revealing that we are Revan, affects our ability to upgrade him in terms of repairing him. That's why I went ahead and did all the repairs earlier onward before going on this mission on the Leviathan before we got captured, because once you get intercepted by the Leviathan, you are done with HK. You cannot repair him anymore after that. Also, because Bastila is now gone, we have one less party member now. We are going to be going to Korriban next, and one of the reasons why I've saved Korriban for last is because if you try to go there earlier, Bastila will comment that she cannot get out of the Ebon Hawk because the Sith would recognize her due to her position within the Republic. So I figured we're not really losing anything by not taking Bastila with us at this point, because we couldn't really take her in Korriban anyway. Anyway, at this point in the game, I'm going to go ahead and talk to everybody else on the ship before we go out to Yavin, and I'll do that in the next video.